This is Herschel Gordon Lewis, and this is Nerd Remix.
Where in the hell are you from anyway, Private? Sir, Texas, sir! Holy dog shit! Texas, only steers and queers come from Texas, Private Cowboy. And you don't much look like a steer to me, so that kind of narrowed it down.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
But your regenerated circuits are tuned asynchronously, and that causes concatenation in the intermediate amplifiers. That's good.
I have pain.
That's good.
You know you're a fucking mumbling, stuttering little fuck, you know that?
That's good.
This is Tom.
And this is Derek.
And this is Nerd Remix Radio, motherfuckers.
Nerd Remix Radio! that was supposed to be me shredding it on a guitar, but since I don't have a guitar, I was sort of like just, playing the air guitar, which makes me look extremely stupid. So thank God they can't see me, but me explaining it's even worse.
Awesome.
So, let's go on with what are we talking about today, Tom Jesus?
First order of business, I guess, would be The Collective is premiering at Horror Hound in Indianapolis this weekend.
No way! The Collective, didn't that get like an all-star rating for you?
Yeah, it was a really cool movie. Jet Pictures put it out. There's 10 different indie filmmakers, and they were each given the same synopsis. The meat eater has taken over a small town and is holding it hostage, and they each filmed a 10-minute take on that, although Berdinsky, I think, went like 14:26. He couldn't edit it down to 10 minutes.
That silly bastard. But we love him. We love Berdinsky. He's badass, and we fully support him.
If everything goes as planned, there'll be an interview with him following this segment, so who knows?
Nice. I wonder what he has to say.
I don't know.
I guess...
Another thing that in The Collective, Dark Rider Studios did a thing in that... And they have a Indiegogo going right now. It's got I think 9 more days on it for Mother's Blood, an upcoming feature that they're doing. So definitely check on Indiegogo. They have a teaser trailer up there, and the lovely and talented Kitsy Duncan is in the teaser trailer. She has more legs than a bucket of chicken. I think you've heard me say that before, but definitely check that out.
If it's fried chicken, I'm going to just go up to her and be like, nom, 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 nom.
Nice.
Okay, I'll stop being silly. Actually, I was curious about a movie that's coming out called Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
I saw that. It's supposed to be a period piece, actually, with Abraham Lincoln as a vampire hunter. Is that like following along the lines in that book that came out last year, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies? The let's take the classic 1800s stuff and throw zombies in it, or...
Well, I believe there was an actual book about it, and I'm reading up, and it says that it's about, the 16th president and his super secret battle against vampires, and he sort of didn't like vampires, especially after they murdered his parents or his mother when he was a child. So it's sort of like one of those type of Blade type things, I guess.
Nice. I wonder if Chris Christopherson will be in it,
It's I actually have the list of who is it starring, and it's actually produced by Tim Burton Productions.
Really? So it ought to be pretty interesting and dark and weird then anyway, right?
I guess, man. I have no clue what to expect for this. And the list, Benjamin Walker, I really don't know who that is, and it's just a bunch of other names. I don't know who they are.
Is Helena Bonham Carter on there? She seems to be in everything that Tim Burton, because she's banging him. So.
No, I just see Mary Winstead, Demonic Cooper, Anthony Mackie, Jimmy Simpson, Robin McLeavely, and Alan Tudyk, or whatever. It's made by 20th Century Fox, which this sounds like a weird title to be made by 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, that is weird for a studio film, man. What the hell? Maybe they're taking some chances rather than remaking shit, but now they're just taking historical figures and throwing them in different situations. Who knows?
I don't know, man, but I'm actually quite interested in seeing this because just the name alone, just the name alone has me wanting to see it. Like, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? Come on. And also, they're actually making a movie to Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies.
Yeah, I did hear that. I forget who's directing it, but I remember the name that was attached to direct it was familiar. I can't remember who it was, though.
I know who it's written by, but that's nothing great.
Well, it'd be cool if they had, like, Peter Jackson or something doing it, doing something like Bad Taste or...
Hey, it's actually the same writer for both movies, Abraham Lincoln and Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, both the same writer.
Yeah, see, that's true to form then, right? They're doing the historical zombie thing, well, undead thing. We'll just say undead. How's that? Because vampires are undead, right?
Yeah, vampires are pretty much undead. I mean, they're living. I mean, what can you say is undead? They're dead, but they're not dead, so they're living? No, they're undead. What the hell is undead? But, Bela Lugosi always calls it the undead, right?
Yeah, and you gotta respect the ghost.
Yeah, whatever the ghosty says goes.
The ghosty is law.
Well, are there any other movies that you're looking forward to?
None that I can think of right now. There was one called Insidious, but I couldn't tell you who directed it, what's it about, or anything like that. And that 3 Slices of Life, it started out as Slices of Life, and now it's called 3 Slices of Life, I don't know what. Anthony Sumner directed it. Same guy did By Her Hand, She Draws You Down. That's on video on demand and stuff like that. Now, that dude had promised me a screener like 6 months ago, and he keeps telling me there's one on the way, and I've never gotten a screener of it, I just want to say. But I wanted to watch this movie, but like the only fucking cable carrier in satellite carrier that doesn't carry it is Time Warner, and that's what I fucking have.
Hey, dude, it's cool. It's on the way.
Yeah, that's what he'll probably say if he listens to this.
One question, which I want to know. How, they were promoting the Last Saw movie as the Last Saw, right?
Yeah, it came out on DVD as the
final chapter.
The final chapter, because they didn't want to do a 3D release of the DVD. I don't know if it's coming out on Blu-rays 3D, but that's what I heard was behind that. But then I heard possibly there was another one in production. I don't know, or maybe in pre-production.
I don't know. They always make Saw movies. Like the whole Saw series, they butchered it down to hell. And if it's called the Last Chapter, make it the Last Chapter. Don't do what Friday the 13th did and make more sequels.
Yeah, and it suffered from creative asphyxia, fucking 8 sequels down the line. It'd be nice if they brought like James Wan back to direct and stuff like that, and maybe did a reimagining, well, not reimagining, but a different take on the series. Kind of what I think what they're doing on a movie that you mentioned earlier, Scream 4.
Oh, on James Wan directed Insidious, just so that you know.
Oh, cool. Well, hey, then I thought that the director was familiar, and here he was.
Scream 4? Oh, man, I'm not looking forward to Scream 4, man.
I don't know if I can get behind that or not, man. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it, no doubt. It's a Scream movie, and I love the first one. The second one was okay. The third one was horrible.
Yeah. Well, it's just like Saw. I'll end up buying the final chapter on DVD just because I have all the other Saws. Not that I particularly like them. It's just I'm the completest fucking nerd, and I have to have them.
Yeah, Saw will feel lonely without the final chapter.
Exactly, something like that.
One movie I'm actually quite interested in talking about is the new Resident Evil movie and Hatchet 3.
Hatchet 2, you might have saw my review. I don't know if you watched it or not, but it was good if you're a fan of the first film. If you walked into Hatchet 2 not knowing anything about the first film, you're going to be like, well, what the hell? But it's a movie for fans. It's a love letter to fans of the first film, so I don't know what they're going to do on 3. I don't think they can bring Tony Todd back, but speaking of, he'll be at Motor City Nightmares next month. I'll try to get an interview.
Nice. He better give it to us. You're listening, Tony Todd? You better give it to us.
I already have some lined up with Monique Dupree said she'd do an interview. Of course, Jimmy O and April will be there. I'm sure I'll talk to them. I'm going to try to get Sheffis and Kane Hodder, and then Danielle Harris is going to be there too.
All right, this is what I need you to do. When you see Monique Dupree, approach her and ask her if she will marry me.
I will. And I'm planning on having a little thing to hold up during pictures too, so, look for that. If I get around to it, I'm kind of lazy when it comes to shit like that.
I think we're like the laziest people on the planet Earth, man.
It could be, man, but I got so much shit going on anyway. Speaking of shit going on, our friends Dave and Chris, they just launched their site this week. We got to give a shout out to them. HorrorHappyHour.com.
Yes, HorrorHappyHour.com. I visited it, and I was so mad at Chris for not giving me the link to it to begin with. I was like, how dare you not give me the link to this?
The site looks pretty cool, man. It's got the interior of the bar there and everything else, and it seems like they got a lot of people that are going to be posting stuff on that site. So, and they have us listed under partners. So, hey,
Yeah. Hey, I put their link on our site too. So all you gotta do is go to the link section and just check it out yourself.
Yeah, Horror Happy Hour. Long may they dwell. Right.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're the duo of awesomeness.
Yeah, I know. I can't say enough about those two. They're great. Chris sends me movies, comics, and shit all the time.
They're huge supporters, man. They're huge supporter of, NerdRemix.com, and hopefully we can just be as good as supporters back to them with their new HorrorHappyHour.com.
Absolutely.
Oh, I just wanted to make one announcement.
Yes.
Out of the millions of other things that I'm probably going to announce later. But this dude, Tom Townsend, the director of Zombie Doomsday, he was asking me for a little bit of help. He's giving a portion of all his sales of all the movies that, of all the... Well, let me reiterate. He's giving a portion of the sales of all the movies to Scares That Care to Help Children. So, he asked me if I could help people to tell them to go to www.zombiedoomsday.com and see if they would like to order a DVD. And if they do order a DVD, like I said, a portion of the sales go to Scares That Care to Help Children.
That's awesome. Good. It's nice to see somebody giving back like that. A lot of people do.
Yeah, it's not all about just making money for yourself. At least they're, helping other people out. So, with that sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna go and buy a copy for me right now.
Yeah, I might pick something up too. I'll have to check it out to see what they have for sale on that site.
I think it's only Zombie Doomsday. I can check right now to make sure. Too late. The link has already been clicked.
It's already been clicked.
It's not loading, so you have a little bit... Nope, official website. Oh yeah, they're selling another zombie flick and Zombie Doomsday.
Oh, okay. What's another zombie flick? Or is that the name of it? Another zombie flick?
Well, that's the making of Doomsday.
Oh, okay. Another zombie flick. The making of Doomsday. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. And I can find out the price for y'all right now. As soon as it decides to load. Come on. $15.
Sweet.
So it's not too
probably
expensive.
A pretty good portion of that's going to, whatever, because DVDs don't cost that much to produce.
It Scares That Cares, man. Don't call the children whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whatever. No, anyway, I think that's a real noble thing to do,
Yeah, absolutely. Lee Revort, who I interviewed last week on the NerdRemix Radio, he picked a different charity all the time to donate proceeds of Guntown to. So we'll see if he does that with the Lashman. I don't know if I think he's just a associate producer on that. So that's not something that he wrote and directed and everything else himself, like Guntown. But yeah, he does give a portion of Guntown proceeds to a different charity every once in a while.
Yeah, and that's highly notable too. Highly notable. I don't know.
And there's another movie I wanted to talk about while we're still here that I reviewed last week. I don't know if you watched this review, but it was from the guys out in Timberwolf West, out on the West Coast. They did that Friday the 13th Storm that I reviewed, that short film. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it. I sent you the link.
I saw your review, but I didn't see the movie.
Okay, these guys, they did a Friday the 13th fan film that was really cool, and everything they do is shot in HD, and it looks like really pristine. But they did a movie called Burlesque Massacre, and it stars our January horror, the hottie Maria Lynn, by the way. Haha, she's very smoking hot. She's in this movie, but really cool movie. I mean, it's like a throwback to, pretty much anything Linnea Quigley or Brink Stevens starred in back in the 80s. I mean, it delivers exactly what it promises: boobs, blood, and babes. So definitely check that out. I'm sure you can buy it on our website, timberwolfwest.com, or look up Burlesque Massacre on Facebook or something. I'm sure you'll find it, or IMDb.
All right, boobs, blood, and babes. I like it. By the way, I have one more thing to mention again, which I've just found out. Remember that Abraham Lincoln Vampire Massacre thing, or Vampire Hunter thing?
Yes.
It's going to be in 3D.
Awesome.
Yes. I have mixed feelings about 3D. I only like 3D when it's made for a movie which was made to be in 3D.
I want to do a movie in 4D that you can see in 3D but also smell.
Ew. You should have somebody fart into the camera or something.
Can you imagine like Zombie, a.k.a. Zombie 2, like if it was in smell-o-vision, because those zombies are like crusty and all fucked up looking. I bet you they smell pretty bad.
Dude, you're stinky. Don't tell me about this. I want to know how they smell, man.
Nice. But anyway, let's end this. And, well, hang on. Fuck. Yeah, okay. Let's wrap this up. The second installment of NerdRemix Radio.
Nice.
And like I said, there's going to be a review coming up. Or an interview, sorry. And Derek, you got anything else?
Eat your pancakes.
Eat your pancakes. With that, we will see you next week. Adios, fuckers.
Yeah, NerdRemix Radio.
NerdRemix Quick Hit Interview. All right, on the phone I have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Tom Berdinsky. Tom, how are you?
Hey, good. How you doing, Tom?
Not bad. First order of business, the giant
How's
rubber...
the NerdRemix Radio gig going?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. We got some listeners, we're building an audience.
Awesome.
So anyway, this weekend, Horror Hound, you're premiering the Giant Rubber Monster movie along with the rest of the collective. How's that going?
We're very excited. I mean, to actually, have a world premiere at Horror Hound, that's pretty exciting for us. That's potentially a really big crowd. There's a lot of horror hosts there. And as you know, you've seen our movie. We've got a number of horror hosts in the movie. Marlena Midnight, Roxy Tyler, Dr. Sigmund Zoid, a whole bunch of them. So I think we'll have a really good crowd for our show.
I think one of the big things, one of the quirks about the Giant Rubber Monster movie is the way that Sigmund Zoid says Aphrodisias. For some reason, that just struck me as cool.
It is funny. He asked me to kind of email him a pronunciation because I guess maybe one of the things people don't know about this movie is a lot of the scenes were shot kind of individually. The horror hosts kind of shot their own scenes by themselves in front of a green screen, and we put it all together. So I wasn't actually there directing him, verbally. I was just sending him emails, here's how you need to talk, here's how you need to do this, and all that kind of stuff. And he was really particular in his questions, and one of them was, how exactly do I pronounce this Aphrodisias thing?
I just thought that was kind of cool with the accent and everything, and it was really cool to see all the horror hosts in there, and then you had your acting debut, playing a giant monster. So.
Yes, it is the first time I've played a 200-foot tall monster, so that was something new for me, and of course it's a character that those of you who know me and have seen me at conventions, it's a character I play quite often. It's Sasquatch, the half Bigfoot, half human creature, and he gets a slightly new personality in this one. It was a lot of fun to do. It's a character that's fun to play.
My two girls, aged 11 and 14, watched it last weekend. They really enjoyed it too, but they had a bunch of questions at the end.
Yeah, I think maybe you should have waited for my G-rated cut.
Well, they've seen stuff, but not real bad stuff. I do a lot of remote control editing. You know what I mean?
I see. Yeah, turn your head now. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. It's basically, I would call it probably PG PG-13 movie. I mean, there's nothing real offensive in it, but it's like all my movies. There's a little bit of double entendre going on, and I think the adults catch it more than the kids do, but it certainly can lead to some questions.
The quote about the demons and how we deal with them is what makes us men was pretty good too. So.
I'll say that little scene I think is probably the best joke in the whole movie. So I do expect that'll get some good laughs.
So you're doing quite a few area conventions, and you got Cinema Wasteland coming up next month, Motor City Nightmares coming up. How do you find time?
Boy, that's a good question. I tell you, the one thing that I've learned in these conventions is we kind of differentiate the labor a little bit. Like I handle all the creative stuff, weird promotions and the write-ups that we're going to do, or any kind of funny stuff we're going to do with these things. I handle all that. My friend Tim Burns, who actually appears in the Giant Rubber Monster movie. It's his first appearance on the big screen. He handles most of the logistics, the travel, figuring all that kind of stuff out. And sometimes Keith Zahn, who plays Jeremiah Revere in the Italian Zombie movie, he also does the logistics. And does it and kind of, gets our hotel rooms, figures out who's going, handles the passes, all that kind of stuff. There's no way I could do it myself. There's just so many hours of preparation, not just on the creative side, but just on the whole logistics side of it. But it is hectic. We got 3 and 5 weeks, and then we've got the Fright Night Film Festival in July. We're looking at one in June. We're looking at one in August, a couple in September. So it's going to be a busy summer, but we have so much fun. We just love it.
Yeah, I can tell. I've been to a few that you've been at, and you seem to be really enjoying yourself. And, it is cool meeting everybody, too, so.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw it on Facebook. I really lucked out to the Fright Night Film Festival. I'm actually partnering with Goldie Fatale and Annie Noir, who are actresses and filmmakers. And in fact, their new film, The Deadliest Gender, may be out by the time Fright Night Film Festival comes around. So they're actually going to kind of help promote my movie with me while we're there, and I'll help promote their movie, and get to hang out with 2 gorgeous girls. It's kind of a neat thing to do.
Yeah, I saw the picture, man. Sasquatch gets all the girls.
I tell you, life is good. Life is good when you're a half human, half Bigfoot thingy.
Speaking of girls, our April Horror Hottie of the Month is someone you know pretty well. So.
Oh yeah, you told me, Janet J, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, and Janet, yes, she's another one actually who I met through these conventions, and she has a love of geeky Italian science fiction, and she actually bought my book, Curb Space, Adventures of Stella Star, and she read that, and told us how much she liked it, and all this kind of stuff. And it just so happens there's a convention called MarCon in May that we're all going to attend, and we're all going to go as the characters from Star Crash. She's going to go as Carolyn Monroe. I'll go as Axon. Not that anybody will care. They're all going to just be looking at her all the time in a black bikini, I'm sure. But just wound up, one of those things where you kind of connect with people with similar interests, and we're actually going to work together and promote my book, and we'll promote some of her activities, and it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I got to meet her at Cinema Wasteland last October, and she's just one of those people where, she's obviously easy on the eyes, but she also has like a charisma about her, that you just, you want to talk to her, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And she's so, if you're into video games and stuff like that, I mean, she knows video games, going back 20, 30 years. It's just amazing, her knowledge of just the whole geeky video game culture and the stuff that she collects. And she's just, just a quirky, fun person, and like I said, gorgeous. Just a lot of fun to be with. I was glad we connected, and we're gonna have a good time. I'm really looking forward to seeing her in the Stella Star getup.
So the Italian zombie movies, still promoting those, I see.
Yep.
And
go ahead, sorry.
No, feel free.
I was just saying, I think we were in about 5 or 6 new conventions with those. Found a whole bunch of new ones in different states, Texas, Missouri, where else? LA, we got a convention out there, so we're kind of spreading those out a little further out of the Midwest now, and so we'll continue to attend those when we can, and still, push them out there, and anybody, any of your listeners know of any conventions that they think would be good for us, please pass it along, because we certainly enjoy having our movie shown.
Next step's global domination then, right?
Exactly. We'll move out of the Midwest, we'll take over this country, and then we'll go global.
Hey, I heard that they're planning to shoot the new season of Jersey Shore in Italy, so maybe you could send a copy over with, like, Pauly D or The Situation or some shit.
Oh, yeah, right. I've never once watched that show. Everybody, I hear enough about it that it's like I never even want to turn it on.
My wife watches it. They're pretty much human cold sores.
Oh, God.
So what's next for the cult of Moan Vu?
Well, that's a good question. As this little short movie, the Giant Rubber Monster movie, is kind of getting more exposure and getting more reviews, I'm kind of definitely feeling like we need to do a sequel to it. And I have written a feature-length sequel, and it involves most of the same characters that are in the movie now, the same horror hosts, some additional ones. And there's a particular actress I met at a film festival that actually occurred here in Muskegon. And she was up here from Florida. Her name's Katie Rotolo. And she is just a fantastic actress. And she would be perfect for this part in this movie that I wrote, this sequel to Giant Rubber Monster movie. So we're hoping to coordinate with her. And if we can work it within her schedule, I think that's going to be the next thing we shoot. We'll probably start the sequel, shooting that in the spring. We'll work through the summer on that, and then hopefully in the fall we'll start our Italian Zombie movie 3. I got some issues there too with certain people I want to cast, and they may or may not be available. A lot of them aren't available in the spring, so I figured, I'll shoot the sequel to this monster movie instead in the spring, and then we'll do Italian Zombie movie in the fall. Hopefully.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, by the way. I did kind of an informal poll of people who have seen my short film, Zombitch, and the top 3 favorite scenes in, I guess, ascending order would be the trip, the drink from the 40, and I'm gonna take that bitch out, and of course, the whiskey face after the credits that you did. Everybody seems to really respond to the whiskey face. So.
Well, that wasn't acting. That was the real face I made when I drank that stuff. So, it was terrible. But I wanted to give you, a very realistic scene, so I figured I better do it. I better make it look good here, I mean, those were real guts in the background, too, that wasn't fake stuff, so.
You channeled Dr. Menard very well, so, I mean, and I told everybody who watched it, make sure you watch after the credits, keep watching.
I saw you mention that to people. And I think I told you, I met Richard Johnson at Cinema Wasteland about a year ago when they had that Italian Zombie movie reunion of all, full cheese cast, and they had shown our movies there and all that stuff. He's the guy who plays Dr. Menard in Zombie. And what a great guy. Fantastic. All class in that voice of his, I mean, just so recognizable. So, that I got a chance to play him in a movie. I'm very proud to have that on my IMDb credits.
Nice. At least somebody is.
I think your movies are hoot. I think it's a lot of fun. People who understand what you were, doing. It's like any movie, If you kind of get it, you're going to have a good time. If you're expecting Avatar when you come to the Italian Zombie movie, you're not going to have a good time. But if you go in there expecting, okay, I'm going to see some quirky B movie with a lot of sexist jokes and all that stuff, then you'll like it. Same with yours. If you go in expecting, hey, this is kind of a super ultra low budget, fun little quickie zombie movie here, you're going to have fun watching it. And I certainly had fun being in it.
And I can tell anybody who hasn't seen the Italian Zombie movies that you're going to have a lot more fun than Avatar. So.
I hope so. Man, that movie, my butt was so sore after about 2 hours of sitting through that one. Oh my gosh, it was a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
There was sure nothing to it. It was just, everything you've seen before 100 times. Only with, a lot more pretty colors and pretty special effects. Geez, that story's been beaten to death. And I don't know. I was very disappointed in it, to be honest.
Absolutely, me too. I think I read an interview with George Romero, and he commented about Avatar and said he can't wait until James Cameron gets back to storytelling rather than making movies that he wants to jerk off to. So.
Yeah, you know what? That sounds like George Romero right there. And it is true. I think that, to me, I think that's the big difference between, indie land where I live and Hollywood. Hollywood's got the technicians, they got the skills, they got the equipment. But out here in indie land, we have to tell stories if we're going to make it. We have to do something different and tell a unique story because we can't compete with Hollywood technically. But we can tell a better story than Hollywood, and I think that's what's happened. I think the writers all stay out here in Indieville, and technicians all go to Hollywood.
Reviewing indie films, I can tell when somebody makes a movie with passion, that has a passion for the subject matter, who is passionate about the horror genre, and you can tell the ones that are just, okay, I'm going to make a cheap horror movie, make a quick buck, and move on to bigger and better things.
Yep, and that is pretty much what Hollywood seems to be doing. And some of the ones that you've picked out over the years, that you've reviewed, that I've listened to, that you've reviewed and that I found myself, it's so obvious. I could name a couple, to you that I just, saw Clown Cat Massacre. What a fantastic movie that is. Out of nowhere, I picked that one up and just absolutely fell in love with it. And Dead Hooker in a Trunk. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen it yet, but Jen and Sylvia actually sent some stuff along for my shameless product placement in Zombitch. So there is a Dead Hook. The Zombitch is wearing a Dead Hooker in a Trunk T-shirt, and then the door of the garage that the Zombitch is trying to get in, you'll see a Dead Hooker in a Trunk bumper sticker on there.
See, I wasn't all that observant. I was so anxious for my own part, to arrive, that I missed that stuff. But definitely see that movie. You talk about a passionate movie that it's not really. It's so hard to explain. It's got such good energy. It's like all the things about Tarantino that are good in a Tarantino movie. That's what they channel in this one. And the things I don't like about Tarantino, they don't go there. So I think you'll love it. I really did.
I think probably the last two movies that struck me as somebody was really into what they were doing, really passionate about what they're doing, would be one Cameron Scott short for the collective Graveyard Blues. That was really, really grim.
He's a Lovecraft guy, Cameron.
And then the other one would be Beverly Lane. That was a really good movie. I laughed my ass off through the whole thing. Joshua Hall's Beverly Lane.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. There was talk that he was going to actually show it up here on the big screen at our indie theater, and I don't know if they're still working on that or what, but I told them if we get it up here, we'll make it an event. So I'd certainly like to see it. I'm glad to hear that Josh is making good movies. That's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch, and I think you're going to like it when you see it, too. It's kind of like The Office meets Dawn of the Dead. So.
Cool. Very cool. I will definitely check it out.
And we will definitely check out what you have coming up, and good luck this weekend at Horror Hound. I didn't like your last convention, but hey, hopefully you'll have a good time.
Well, thank you very much, Tom, and we'll look forward to seeing you at City Nightmares.
Absolutely. Say hello to Barbara Steele for me this weekend.
I will do that.
All right, take it easy, Tom. Until next time.
You too, Tom, and good luck with the whole NerdRemix Radio thing. So far, so good.
All righty, thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.